It is simple to say one by one, these are the phrases I'm going to stop saying, and here's what I'm going to say instead. Especially when you have a partner at home and a partner at work helping you to focus on those phrases. I'll tell you why I'm here. I'm here because of the 9th trait of power talkers. I'm here because my dad loved baseball. He was a baseball nut. So I'm a speaker. I'm not doing a good job of explaining this. My dad loved baseball. And in fact, his dream was to be a professional ball player. He grew up in Sacramento, California. And he told me about the day that a scout came out from Detroit to watch. You know, they travel around to the small towns and ask around who's the best ball player in town. And in Sacramento, everybody said, Merle Walther, he's the best ball player. And this scout watched my dad play first base. My dad was a talented guy. And he told me about the situation in which the scout came to his home, and his father, my grandfather John, which was a converted barn in Sacramento, my dad said that the very best day of his life was the day when this baseball scout came and said to his father, Mr. Walther, this boy of yours, Merle, he's a heck of a good first baseman, got long arms, very lanky, throws well, got a great reach, hits well. I want to take him to Detroit. I think he can play in the big leagues. And as my dad described this encounter, he said that his father stood there with his arms crossed and said, I know about those baseball players. They chew tobacco, they drink liquor, they chase women. My dad said, he's here going, yes, yes, women, liquor, yes. But his dad said, not my boy. My boy's going to have a real career. He's going to be an engineer. Walther is a German name. There was no further discussion. My dad became an engineer. For 40 years, my dad worked for the phone company in San Francisco in a sort of a middle-level engineering job. And I know that for those 40 years, my dad resented that he didn't get to do what he loved and regretted and probably didn't feel very good about his dad. Now, when I was a kid, well, one great moment in my dad's life was April 13, 1949, when I was born, because what do you suppose he saw when he looked in the nursery at that hospital? Aha! There's the ball player my dad didn't let me be. Unfortunately for my dad, I don't like baseball. I'm not interested. This is my deal. This is what I love to do. I don't like to play baseball. I remember my 3rd year in the farm league, in Little League, going, Dad, I just don't like baseball. And I know it broke his heart because he then joined Little League. And he was the town umpire in San Carlos, California, where I grew up. He was the head umpire. And I know it must have been tough on him when the other dad said, oh, what about your son? Why isn't he out here? And when I graduated from high school, 1967, we had these block sweaters, and man, I had buttons and pins and top honor student, and I was involved in everything. Except the only thing my dad saw was this pocket did not have a C for Carlmont High and no baseball. And I went to University of California, graduated summa cum laude. Dad's reaction? You've always been a 0 in sports. I did really well in my graduate studies at UCLA, completed my MBA, and Dad said, you have never even tried out for a baseball team. And I wrote my first book, which was Phone Power. My dad worked for the phone company. I think I may have been trying to get his attention. I wrote inside the front cover, Dad, you may never know how much of my career has been built on wanting you to be proud of me. And you know my dad never read that book, and he never commented on what I wrote inside the cover. When I was 39, I had a speech in San Francisco where my dad lived, and I said, Dad, I'd sure love to have you come be in the audience and see what I like to do. And his reaction was to say, hell, they charge $2 just to park your car at those fancy hotels. But my dad came. And at the end of my talk, my dad clapped. And my dad said, son, I'm proud of you. And I burst into tears. I said, Dad, I've been knocking myself out for 39 years. I always got the top grades. I was involved in everything. How could it take you 39 years to be proud of me? And my dad said, son, you must be nuts. Because since the day you were born, I've told everybody I've ever met how proud I am of you. Except me. Not once. And I'm so happy to tell you that that day marked the beginning of a wonderful relationship. I got to enjoy several good years with my dad. But it all started when he finally said he was proud of me. I'm a speaker today because my dad didn't clap for me as a kid. He didn't say, that's what you're good at. Good for you, son. Power talkers do acknowledge others for what they're good at. I'm very happy to tell you that my dad left at the end of his life. The last week of his life, I'd say a good 30% of his word count was some variation of, I'm so proud of you, son. But why wait? Why wait? Ladies and gentlemen, the 9th trait of power talkers is that they share their pride. You got associates in your office who do great work for you, who you probably told others you're proud of. Tell them! You got kids at home tonight who you're proud of. Don't tell your friends. Tell them. You work for a boss who's a wonderful leader. Don't tell people what a wonderful leader your boss is. Tell your boss. Power talkers don't talk about others in a prideful way. They tell them directly. The 9th trait of power talkers is that they share their pride. It has been a pleasure for me to be with you tonight. I'm very proud of my long association with Yes. I'm very proud to have been able to share with you the ideas that I know you'll be able to put to work. And I want to simply close tonight by saying, if you do nothing else, I want you to make sure that the people in your personal life tonight hear from you tonight how you feel about them. Make sure that the people you work with tomorrow know directly from you. Don't tell others how good they are. Tell them. Power talkers are people who project positive expectations. They give credit where it's due. They rebound resiliently. They accept responsibility. They build cooperation. They speak decisively. They remember the basics, and they share their pride. I wish you all tremendous success in every area of your life, not just professionally. Thank you so much for being here this evening. Thank you.